Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, y'all. Come on in this virtual room. I am going to be diving into the tea. We had a beauty supply store launch today. I am in Tomball, Texas, and the owner, Kesha Woodridge, been working with her for well over a year at this point, and we've actually had her grand opening today. So that was really exciting. If you guys are on my Instagram, you probably saw that her launch was today. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you should be following me. It's the Retail Genius on Instagram. I have a lot of behind the scenes over on there. But today was absolutely amazing. I love grand openings. It warms my heart and soul so much, and it's just such a blessed day. But yeah, so that happened. Before I get into the details of that, the reason why I have this live tonight is I am officially launching my brand new program publicly. I launched it last week into my private group via training. So if you guys were on that training last week, then you got first dibs and access to my brand new program. But it is um, it is a year in the making, y'all, and um, I have seen in the past 12 months so many people come get funding, not have to use their own savings like I did, and have like an adequate amount of money to get their beauty supply store open. Um, when I started in 2010, didn't know about any other way to get started in a business outside of friends and family, crowdfunding, using my 401k, and getting a personal loan. Those were the only options that I knew of. So, in the training that I had this past week, I spoke about different funding opportunities that my clients are now exposed to that we weren't privy to 10 years ago. And if we were, my God, that have made a world of a difference for me coming into this business and just trying to bootstrap and, use savings, use 401k and all that stuff. So, I say all that to say times have changed, y'all. Times have changed. And what's so great about it is that there is more access to funding for people of color now more than there's ever been. One particular funding strategy that I spoke about on the training was one of the SBA programs. SBA programs that's for small businesses, people that don't have perfect credit, that don't have six-figure incomes. These are funding strategies that everyday people have access to as long as you have a legit business, meaning your business is set up properly and you have a certain amount of time in that LLC or S corp, or however your business is set up. So anyway, I did a whole full training on that last week and launched my brand new program, which is called the Profitable Beauty Supply Store Launch: How to Fund and Launch Your Store in Under a Year. Um, and what I did is with this new program is pretty much break it down into three phases. The first 90 days is fully funding your beauty supply store, meaning you not having to use any of your personal funds to get that started. And I discussed on training one big myth that a lot of people believe is that the personal credit and the business credit is like one and the same. They're two completely different things, and you can obtain business credit while not having a perfect credit score, right? So, and that's one of the main ways that you're able to obtain the necessary amount of funding needed to open a brick and mortar store. We're not talking about a little investment, 10,000, 20,000. We're talking upwards 75,000 to open a store that's going to, hopefully give you a return of multiple six figures. in your first year of business, right? Which is an average goal. An average beauty supply store makes 250,000 in revenue in its first year. That's what the average looks like, right, for an average size store. But there's obviously a lot of other factors that play a role into that. But you want to land somewhere in the six-figure realm. And so, in order to have six-figure revenue, you have to have at least half of that in investment, right? In investment. So that's the first phase of the program. The first phase of the program, the first 90 days, is helping you get that funding, right? Our first milestone is developing the business plan and the financial projections. This is one thing that you cannot skip. The SBA definitely looks at this. Most investors are going to look at this. And even if you were self funded, y'all, even if you were to be self funded, you still want to have this for yourself. You still want to be able to document how much money this is going to cost, how much you project to make in the first 3 years, monthly, broken down by category, right? What is your branding going to look like? Like, this is just your roadmap to success, is the business plan and financial projection. So this is our first milestone that we complete once you enroll in this program, so that you can go ahead and get the funding for your store. So we have an excellent business writer on the team that does this for you, right? But you have to also put in the work yourself, right, to get there. So this program is all about collaborating with you and getting to the dream of your store. So you will have to put in the work. You will have to do some things, right? You will have to do some work. Um, second phase is, once you actually secure the funding, you're approved, you get the funding for your store, it's actually building out the store. Where should my product go? Where should the register go? Store layout is one of the biggest pieces to that puzzle, right? Store layout, designing the store. We have someone on the team that helps you do that. And then inventory your store, getting accounts, getting vendors, which is my jam, my special sauce, is making sure that you have the relationships and the accounts that you need. And me being in this industry for almost 2 decades, I have those established relationships. So being able to partner with me and leveraging the relationships that I have built over the past 2 decades is one of the priceless things that you get in this program. It's so funny because just the other day I was talking to Kesha, the owner of the store we just launched today, and she was talking about one of the vendors that we got for her in her store, and the rep told her up and down, like, if it was not for the relationship that you have with Janice, you probably would have never got this account. He's an honest person, and that's just the honest truth. Still, a lot of this industry is about relationships, who you know, so that you can get the stuff that you need for your store. So that is a big piece. That is a huge piece. I'm not even going to cap y'all. That is a huge piece to making sure that your store is successful, is having the proper vendor relationships so that you can get the lowest prices possible. Because one of the biggest complaints of Black owned beauty supply stores is that our prices are high, because obviously we don't get the best pricing, right? So, one of the things that I try to do with my clients and the people that I work with is making sure you guys have those relationships so that you can get the best pricing. Because one mistake that I made, not a mistake, you just don't know what you don't know, but one hurdle that I went through was not having those established relationships and spending about $20,000 with the wrong vendor. A $20,000 mistake, had I had somebody in my corner to kind of help me with pricing, help me with these relationships, all of that, that's $20,000 I could have just reinvested back into the business. But again, when you're doing this on your own and you're in it and you're just trying to get inventory for your store, and you'll just buy stuff from anywhere, which is what a lot of people do. You look up and then you realize you've done spent all this time and money with the wrong people. So that was my $20,000 mistake. So that's one huge thing that I work very, very hard on is not only making sure that you have the right product mix in your store, which is the inventory makeup. So we call that the product mix. But that with that product mix, you have good pricing, so that you're able to charge good pricing and you're able to be competitive in this industry, right? So that whole process, I step in and I'm really hands on because this is like the nitty and gritty. This is the baseline of the store's success. This is really what catapults you into being able to scale and grow your business is having a good relationship with the vendors, having a good inventory cadence, and having a very strong product mix, right? And then our last phase is the whole store launch phase. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, I gave you a behind the scenes of kind of what that looks like. Um, and so making sure your infrastructure is there, making sure your back end is set up, right? This is all part of the phase 3 of leading to this grand opening day and then executing your launch. In my program, we do two different launches. We have a two-step launch process. The first part is the soft launch. The second is the grand opening, which is the big day where everyone comes out and celebrates you. Um, and I explained what the purpose of that is on the training. Y'all, if you didn't catch the training, type in the chat replay and I'll send you the link so that you can watch it, so that you can know exactly what I'm talking about. That is a third phase of the program. So it's funding and launching your store in under a year. The first 90 days is crucial. The first 90 days is crucial because we want to get to the funding piece as fast as possible. And what I've learned in this past year of working with a good amount of women on their store is like the formula to getting to that bag faster, right? So we've been able to work with a lot of different micro lenders who understand the beauty supply business because not a lot of lenders understand the beauty supply industry and the business. And it takes a lot of explaining for someone to buy into your project, right? Just like if you're talking to an investor, it's great to have somebody invest in your business that already has a good understanding of what that is, right? So they already know this is a $1 billion industry and it's growing every single year. This is a recession proof industry. We see time and time again all of the other industries, when there's an economic downturn, they go down, and beauty supply, it goes up, right? So these are the things that are just like foundational elements that you want to be able to communicate to someone who you're looking to get funding from. And that's like the big piece of the first 90 days in the program. All right. So y'all, if you are interested in getting started, we do have some fast action bonuses that we have for the weekend. And again, if you was already on that training, you already got a heads up of what that looks like. We have quite a few people that have signed up already. And so I'm super, super excited. If y'all have any questions, you can drop it in the chat. To get into this program, the investment is $2,000 down, and the payment plan is $2,000 per month for 10 months. The paying full price is $19,997. That is the investment. So, first 90 days is getting the funding in place so that you don't need to stress about that. That's one common question that I've been getting on these discovery calls. And so that's what the goal and aim is, right? Obviously, there are going to be people that it may take longer for that to happen for you. It might be quicker, right? It's not like a one size fits all type of situation. That's why I invite you guys to a next steps strategy call, so that you can get your questions answered on what that looks like. So what I'm going to do is drop the link in the chat if I can get from where my screen is. Okay. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for those of you who are interested. Um, that is the link to have a next steps strategy session with someone on the team who is going to walk you through what that looks like, right? And so that you can ask any questions that you may have. But this is for people who are looking to open their store within the next year. So within the next 12 months, if this is a goal of yours, then I encourage you to book your call and get started Okay. So the link is there. Like I said, we have some fast action, amazing bonuses that's happening. And I shared that on the training that we just had last week. Um, so if you was on there, you already know what I'm talking about. And if you're on my email list, you already know what I'm talking about. Um, so yeah, yes, Johetta Farhat. That is exactly what I said. Well, not exactly. I said 19997. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna sign off here. The link is there for you to book your call and to have a consult and to answer any questions that you guys may have. If you guys go to my Instagram, I have a whole bunch of videos of today's grand opening with the Beauty Know How here in Tomball, Texas. Check her out. The owner is Keisha Woodrup. That is my girl. That's my sis. So if you are in the area, come and support her brand new store. I'm going to be dropping some more videos. Some videos, pictures, all the things that happened today. I am super tired. We were in her store yesterday until like 9, 10 p.m. Central Time, which is like 11 Eastern Time. I got in super late. So I am like I'm like running on fumes right now, y'all. But today was an amazing day. And one thing that I just want you guys to be encouraged is that there were so many people that showed up in the community today. There was so many people that showed up in her community today, and she's in a very mixed community. So it's not like a whole black community where it's like, oh yes, people are gonna show up. No, she's in a very diverse community. There's a lot of Caucasian, and when I tell you they showed up for today's launch. They showed up for her launch today. And it's really encouraging to see not just the Black community show up, but all the races show up, all the races spend their coin. And for there to be like this, just an amazing, diverse group of people just supporting this woman in her dream. So it was amazing. I want y'all to go to my Instagram and just watch the videos because I could tear up right now just thinking about it. Um, and it was just a great day. It was just a great day, y'all. I am excited. I'm just tired, but I'm excited, and I'm excited for all the people that's going to be launching in the next 12 months because it is like y'all. The time is now. The time is now. There's a lot of these mega beauty supplies shutting down. I don't know if y'all saw this in the news the other day, and then I'm really gonna wrap it up. But I don't know if y'all saw this in the news, but in Georgia, there were two mega beauty supply stores that were evicted. There was one in Clayton, Georgia, and then one in Riverdale, Georgia. Now, the one in Riverdale, I know a lot about because actually one of my good sister friends was there for this eviction. So there was this eviction in Riverdale, Georgia, big mega beauty supply store. I think they owe something like 15,000 in rent, and the landlord decided to go to the courts, get them evicted. The marshals came, threw out tens of thousands of dollars worth of inventory um, in the middle of in the parking lot, right? So then all these people came to this parking lot to try to get this free beauty supply, right? All these like hundreds of people came to show up because this store was getting evicted and they wanted to capitalize on this product. Well, the police showed up, shut it down, said, y'all not getting nothing. we're going to dump this and we're going to burn it, which I don't even understand all of that. But it just goes to show you, like, these big mega beauty supply stores, like, it's hard for them to pivot. I think what I heard was that someone passed away, and I guess the family tried to save the business, but it just didn't work out. Maybe that's what happened, right? But instead of them doing a liquidation sale, doing a donation, doing raffles, doing auctions, instead of them doing all of that, they somebody froze, and it went so far as to the marshals coming in and literally confiscating all of tens of thousands of dollars worth of beauty supply from this store and dumping it in the middle of a parking lot. I'm just like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around, how does it get that far? And the only thing that I can think of is that people literally do freeze in times of despair. Like, you literally, people, I've seen people freeze. And I want y'all to think about this. Like, this is going to happen. This has happened to me. It's just going to hit the fan. And what you can't do is freeze to the point of now you have marshals at your door coming in, taking out the product, dumping in the street, so that now people can come in and get it for free. But they didn't even come in and get it for free because they had inmates. They called in inmates from the local jail to load trucks up so they can ship it down to a land mill or something like that, and I don't know, dumped it, did whatever. Like, no one was able to get it. Like, it just didn't make any sense. None of it made any sense to me. Um, and it's just like, some type of exit strategy needs to be in place, y'all. And I talk a lot about this in my program. Like, and I talked about this on the training. That's why y'all need to catch that training. If y'all didn't catch the training, type in replay in the chat and I'll send you a link. Or DM me replay and I'll send you that link. But I talked about exit strategy in that training, like succession plan, something, right, needs to be in place. Like, it's not enough to just have this vision of opening the store. Like, okay, how do we exit the business? Like, what does that look like? Are we selling? Or is there someone who is next in line that has the information and tools to actually run this business? Not that you want to dump it on someone who doesn't have the education and the tenacity and all the other things that you need to run this business, but like, there is someone next in line who's been behind the scenes, like, they're ready to go. Because whoever was next in line in these stores, or whoever this was dumped on, they froze, and the marshals came in and it was like, it's a wrap. We getting rid of everything. That has to be tough. That has to be tough. But anyway, I just went off on a tangent, but I just want y'all to think about that. The goal is to create generational wealth. Now, if we find ourselves in a liquidation sale, an eviction, like, what can we say about our investment, about our business? Like, there's ways to get around that. All right, so it was lovely talking to y'all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see y'all on the next live. Have a good night.